Keanu Reeves was sitting in a McDonald's in Los Angeles, enjoying a rare moment of peace, when a 5-year-old boy clutching a broken toy car approached him. The child whispered something in his ear. Immediately, Keanu's face went pale. Without hesitation, he grabbed his phone and dialed 911. What happened next would touch everyone's heart. But before we dive into this incredible story, let us know where you're watching from. And if you love stories like this, make sure to subscribe, because tomorrow we have another special one just for you. It was a warm Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles. The sky stretched above in a flawless shade of blue, with only a few wispy clouds drifting lazily. The golden sunlight reflected off the towering Hollywood signs, creating a picture-perfect scene. Keanu Reeves, known for his humility and kindness, had just left a charity event supporting underprivileged children. He had spent hours engaging with the kids, participating in activities, and donating both his time and resources, something he always did from the heart. Feeling a mix of exhaustion and fulfillment, Keanu decided to do something out of the ordinary. Instead of heading straight home or dining at a high-end restaurant, he pulled into a McDonald's on a bustling avenue. Why not, he thought. He missed these simple moments, being just another person in the crowd, away from the constant glare of fame. Inside, the air buzzed with the lively energy of families and children. The scent of fresh fries and burgers filled the space, evoking nostalgia. Laughter echoed from the small play area, blending with the steady rhythm of orders being called out. Dressed casually in a black t-shirt and sunglasses, Keanu kept a low profile as he ordered his meal and found a quiet corner to sit. He turned off his phone, allowing himself to simply be present, something he rarely had the luxury to do. But then, something caught his attention. A young boy sitting at a nearby table couldn't stop staring at him. He had messy blonde hair, a faded blue shirt, and clutched a broken toy car as if it were the most precious thing in the world. The boy's gaze wavered between curiosity and hesitation. Keanu offered a small smile, finding the moment endearing, before returning to his meal. But soon he realized the boy was still watching him. At the same table sat a tall, well-dressed man, sharply dressed in a pristine suit. His posture was rigid, his expression cold, and he seemed completely absorbed in a phone call. Yet, every time the child fidgeted, the man would cast him an icy glare, as if even the slightest movement was an annoyance. Something about the scene felt off. The contrast between the boy and the man was stark, one small and vulnerable, the other exuding an air of authority and control. Minutes passed, and then the unexpected happened. The child slowly climbed down from his chair, still clutching his toy car. He hesitated, took a deep breath, then, with small, cautious steps, made his way toward Keanu. The world around them seemed to blur, as if time had slowed. Keanu, sensing something unusual, set his burger down and turned to face the boy fully. When the child reached his chair, his wide eyes reflected something Keanu couldn't quite place: fear, desperation, hope. Then the boy leaned in. His small body trembled slightly as he whispered something so softly that Keanu had to lean closer. And then it hit him. Whatever the boy said left Keanu stunned. His stomach tightened, his pulse quickened. But before he could react, a shift in the air told him they were not alone. The man, the one from the table, had noticed. His piercing gaze locked onto Keanu, sending an icy chill down his spine. Slowly, with calculated movements, the man stood up, adjusting his suit jacket as he began making his way toward them. Keanu stayed calm, but deep down he knew this was no ordinary encounter. And what was about to unfold would change everything. Ethan's shoulder received another reassuring squeeze. "We believe you. It's okay now." Harris let out a forced, dry laugh. "This is absurd. You're really going to listen to a child over a responsible adult? I won't stand for this." Ramirez remained calm. "Sir, it seems we have sufficient cause to investigate the situation. We'll need you to come with us." Harris took a step back, his eyes now filled with anger. "You have no idea who you're dealing with." He attempted to walk away, but Vega acted swiftly. With a firm movement, she grabbed Harris's arm as Ramirez stepped in to assist, pinning him in place. "Are you resisting a police order?" Vega asked while securing the handcuffs around his wrists. Keanu stood protectively beside Ethan, who now seemed slightly relieved, though still visibly shaken. "He's lying," Harris muttered as the officers escorted him out of the restaurant. Keanu turned to Ethan and gently asked, "Do you want to show me where your mom is? We can go there now with the police." Ethan nodded slowly, clutching his broken toy car in one hand while reaching for Keanu's hand with the other. In a whisper, he said, "I just want her to be okay." Keanu felt a pang of emotion in his chest, but he knew this was the time to act. Turning to the officers, he said, "Let's head to his house. There's still more to do." Music. The restaurant had calmed down, but tension lingered in the air. Customers watched in silence, some whispering among themselves as Harris was led away by the police. Inside, Keanu stayed close to Ethan, ensuring the boy felt safe. Ethan still clutched his broken toy car, his small hands trembling with the force of his grip. Keanu crouched down beside him again. "Ethan, we're going to take care of this. The police are here, and they're going to help us. Do you want to tell me more about what happened with your mom?" Ethan hesitated for a moment, then looked up, his eyes brimming with unshed tears. Speaking in a low voice, he finally said, "He yelled at her, then she fell on the floor. She said she'd be okay, but I know she wasn't." Keanu felt a lump in his throat. The boy's words were simple, but the weight they carried was heartbreaking. They needed to act fast. Standing up, Keanu signaled to the officers, who had returned inside after securing Harris in the patrol car. "He's afraid to go home," Keanu told Officer Ramirez, "and he's worried about his mom. We need to get there as soon as possible." Ramirez nodded, pulling out a small notepad to write down the address. Officer Vega knelt beside Ethan, speaking to him gently. "Ethan, can you take us to your house? We're going to make sure your mom is okay." Ethan hesitated again, glancing at Keanu for reassurance. When Keanu nodded, the boy gave a small, timid nod. "I can show you, but he always locks the door. I don't know how to get in." Keanu placed a comforting hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Don't worry. We'll figure it out." As the officers prepared to leave, a restaurant employee informed Vega that Harris had left a small backpack at his table, likely in his rush to escape. She brought the bag over to where Keanu and Ethan were waiting. From inside the patrol car, Harris shouted, "You're making a mistake. You don't have any proof. I'm an innocent man." Ramirez ignored the outburst as Vega helped Keanu and Ethan into the police car. During the ride, Keanu tried to keep Ethan calm, sharing small stories to distract him. "Did you know toy cars are really easy to fix? I'm sure once all of this is over, we can figure out how to fix yours." For the first time, Ethan gave a faint smile, though his eyes remained distant. "Do you think my mom is going to be okay?" Keanu looked at him and answered sincerely, "We're going to do everything we can to make sure she is." As the car approached Ethan's house, the atmosphere grew heavy with tension. The street was eerily quiet, and the windows of the house were dark. Vega immediately noticed the front door was slightly ajar, prompting Ramirez to hit the brakes. "Stay here," he ordered Keanu and Ethan as he and Vega stepped out of the car, drawing their weapons. Keanu turned to Ethan and said softly, "Stay with me. We're not going to let anything happen." Outside, the officers cautiously approached the house. The silence around them felt more threatening than any noise. When Ramirez pushed the door open, what they found inside would change everything. Inside Ethan's house, the scene was one of chaos. Overturned furniture, signs of a struggle, and broken objects scattered across the floor. Proceeding with caution, Ramirez and Vega soon discovered Sarah, Ethan's mother, unconscious on the living room floor, a small cut on her head. Despite her critical condition, Sarah was alive. Paramedics were called immediately. As Sarah was stabilized, Vega and Ramirez reviewed the notebook found in Harris's backpack. What they uncovered was chilling. Detailed notes revealing that Harris had been monitoring Sarah and Ethan, controlling their movements, and planning to abduct the boy to take him to another state. This discovery solidified the severity of Harris's crimes. Charges of abuse and attempted kidnapping were now undeniable. Outside, Harris, now handcuffed and seated in the back of the police car, watched the activity with a dark expression. He muttered threats as he was driven away by the officers, but Keanu remained focused on Ethan and Sarah. The boy clung to Keanu's hand and asked softly, "Will you stay with us?" With a warm smile, Keanu promised, "I'll be here until everything is okay." The hospital was bathed in the soft light of dawn, a promise of a fresh start. Sarah lay in a quiet room, connected to monitors and in 4. Though pale, her face showed relief. Finally, she was safe. Ethan sat beside her, carefully holding her hand, while Keanu stood nearby, ensuring they both felt comfortable. After tense hours, the doctor entered with good news. "She's out of danger," he said. "Her injuries aren't severe, and with rest, she'll make a full recovery." Ethan let out a deep sigh of relief, glancing at Keanu with a shy smile, silently thanking him for being there. A few days later, Sarah was discharged from the hospital. Though still emotionally shaken, she expressed immense gratitude for the help she'd received. Before leaving, she turned to Keanu with tears in her eyes. "I don't know how to thank you. You saved our lives." Keanu, as humble as ever, responded with a warm smile. "I was just in the right place at the right time." The real hero here is Ethan. He had the courage to ask for help. Holding his now-repaired toy car, Ethan gave a timid smile. Keanu had arranged for the toy to be fixed, a small reminder that even broken things could be restored after difficult times. Inspired by the experience, Keanu decided to do more. He reached out to a local organization that supported victims of domestic violence, offering financial assistance and visibility for their cause. He also stayed in touch with Sarah and Ethan, ensuring they received the support they needed to rebuild their lives. Months later, Keanu was invited to a ceremony organized by the police to honor Ethan. The boy was awarded the title of Young Hero for his bravery in seeking help and saving his mother. During the event, Ethan handed Keanu a drawing, a boy and a man holding hands, with the words, "My hero," written in colorful letters. Keanu smiled and said, "You are the real hero, Ethan. Asking for help takes more courage than anything else." If you enjoyed this story, we have many more that will warm your heart. Click the screen to explore more stories of hope, compassion, and resilience.